Hey, Dr. Mike here. So I wanted to talk a little bit about stress today. Stress is interesting in that most of us are stressed right now, whether we're on lockdown, we're at home, we're not working. It's a very difficult time right now, unprecedented time, where we need to really focus on what's most important. And so today I want to talk about stress. Most people think of stress as a negative thing. And in most cases, unrelenting, undissipated stress that accumulates in the body is a bad thing because it makes our bodies deplete certain chemical reservoirs and certain chemical resources that our bodies need. If we're overstressed, we can get sick, and most people know that. But I found a great article. Stress can be a good thing if you know how to use it. It's 2015 Harvard Business Review by Crum and Crum. And what they said in this article was that by failing to face our most intense challenges, we never overcome them. That's pretty cool. I want to say it again. By failing to face our most intense challenges, we never overcome them. Individuals who adopt a stress-enhancing mindset in their lives show greater work performance and fewer negative health symptoms than those who adopt a stress-debilitating lens. That's pretty interesting. So they have a 3-step process, and step 1 is see it. Identify and see it. See your stress rather than deny it or dwelling upon it. So see it. See it for what it is. Step number 2 is to own it. If you were climbing Mount Everest, this was a metaphor they used. If you're climbing Mount Everest, you could imagine that there might be some cold, dark, sleepless nights on your journey up. But what did you expect? The climbing of Mount Everest would be a walk in the park? Not necessarily. Do you really expect that raising a child, running a business, or living a life of impact would be easy? Well, I could tell you I'm doing all 3, and no, it's not. So own it. Own what it is. Navy SEAL training, what they do in Navy SEAL training is they over-exaggerate the danger so that when a Navy SEAL gets into conflict or into battle, they're cool as a cucumber. That's what they do. It's pretty amazing how that trains them to handle stress very well. Step 3, use it. The evolutionary goal of stress response was to help boost the body and the mind into enhancing function to help us grow and meet the demands we face. So if a saber-toothed tiger was chasing you, or let's say a tiger gets out of the local zoo and it was chasing you, you would want your stress response to kick in, wouldn't you? Of course. You'd want to run for the hills and get out of harm's way. When the body encounters stress, it dumps hormones and pumps hormones such as adrenaline and dopamine, which fuel the brain and the body and the blood with oxygen. A response which propels the individual into a state of increased energy, heightened alertness, and narrowed focus. So you don't want to stay there, but think about that. If you had narrowed your focus, you can get a lot more done, especially on a tough project. The issue then is not the stress response, but it's how we channel or employ this response. So we want to simply make sure we can harness it and channel it, not let it overwhelm us or overtake us. So in closing, the article goes on to say, as a society, we largely fail to frame stress as potentially enhancing and often miss opportunities to learn from and grow from stressful moments. So we need to be aware of these things. There's a good book. I haven't read it, but I've heard good things about it. It's called Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers by Robert Sapolsky. And what Robert does in this book, Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers, is he talks about how getting a zebra which is under attack from lions constantly, they get back to homeostasis and back to balance quickly. That's why they don't develop ulcers. So they could respond in the moment to a stressful event and then get back to grazing and doing what zebras do. So hope that helps. Remember, stay informed and get adjusted.